Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stood before the raw beauty of the Sonoran Desert or the Grand Canyon and wondered, how did this place become part of America? Or, how did the first inhabitants survive in this harsh wilderness? Today, I invite you to travel back in time with me to Arizona's earliest days, where ancient civilizations, resilient explorers, and historical upheavals forged an unforgettable story. Many of us over the age of 40 share a love for stories of the old days. They remind us of our ancestors' struggles and the new lands that promised freedom and opportunity. Arizona is no different, a land of beginnings, where every rock and road is steeped in history. In this first chapter, we'll explore how the first inhabitants laid Arizona's cultural foundations, the ambitious journeys of Spanish explorers, how Arizona became a contested peace among empires, the first inhabitants, the foundation of life. Long before Europeans arrived, Arizona was home to thriving civilizations. Meet the Hohokam, ancient engineers who dug miles-long canals from the Salt River to grow corn, beans, and squash in the desert. Their works, still visible today, leave us in awe. How did they achieve this without modern tools? Then came the ancestral Puebloans, ancestors of today's Hopi and Zuni tribes. They built cliffside dwellings like Montezuma Castle, still standing after 800 years. These are not just feats of architecture but lessons in adaptation, living with the land, not against it. Conquests and conflicts, when two worlds collided. In the 16th century, Arizona's history took a new turn with Francisco Vázquez de Coronado, a gold-seeking Spanish explorer. Instead of legendary cities of gold, he found Zuni clay villages, yet Spain's legacy endured. Franciscan missions like San Xavier del Bac, an architectural gem with intricate frescoes, stand as reminders of an era of spiritual and territorial conquests. But the cost was steep. Disease, war, and oppression decimated tribes. This painful history must be told to fully understand Arizona's journey. Arizona under Mexico, turning points of war and treaty. In the early 19th century, after Mexico's independence, Arizona became part of Alta California. But Mexico's control was weak. Apache and Comanche tribes resisted, while American fur traders encroached. The Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, ceding much of the Southwest to the U.S. In 1853, southern Arizona joined the U.S. via the controversial Gadsden Purchase to build a transcontinental railroad, but Arizona's path to statehood was just beginning. Next, we'll dive into the Wild West era, a time of cowboys, gold rushes, and bloody clashes. Part 2, Arizona, the Wild West legend and the fight for the future. If Part 1 was about beginnings, Part 2 is a tale of fire and hope. 19th century Arizona, where cowboys rode through deserts, miners dug for gold, and the Apache fought to protect their ancestors. This was an era where law lived in the barrel of a gun, and a state's future was written in sweat, tears, and blood. 1. The Gold Rush and the Rise of Boomtowns. A rumor of gold could turn wastelands into hubs of ambition. In 1858, gold at the Gila River drew thousands. Miners from California, Mexican farmers, Civil War veterans, all chasing dreams. Tombstone, Too Tough to Die, epitomized this era. Dusty streets, rowdy saloons, and shootouts like the OK Corral. A 30-second clash between Wyatt Earp and the Cowboys, now legendary. But when mines dried up, towns like Jerome became ghost towns overnight, crumbling reminders that greed builds and destroys. 2. The Apache's last stand, culture versus civilization. If gold fueled white settlers, land was the Apache's soul. Cochise, legendary Chiricahua leader, declared, "I have fought lifelong to protect these mountains, my ancestors' home." But the U.S. government built forts like Fort Apache, forcing tribes into cramped reservations. In 1881, Geronimo, last warrior of the Badonko, launched a 5-year resistance with 30 followers, evading 5,000 soldiers. At his 1886 surrender, Geronimo said, "I have fought from sunrise to sunset. Now I am tired. His words mourned a fading culture. 3. The Transcontinental Railroad bridging Arizona to the world. Amid chaos, the railroad changed Arizona's fate. In 1880, Southern Pacific's first train reached Tucson. Goods from New York arrived in days, not months. Flagstaff boomed, and Phoenix revived ancient canals to become a desert oasis. But progress came at a cost. Exploited nature, ancient ponderosa pine forests felled for rails. Must progress always bring loss? Arizona still grapples with this question. 4. The rocky road to becoming the 48th state. Why did resource-rich Arizona become a state so late? Since 1863, it was a territory, but Congress doubted, can cowboys and tribes build governance? The Civil War split Arizona. Pro-slavery South versus anti-slavery North. Finally, in 1912, President Taft approved statehood, but only after Arizona removed a clause allowing judges recall. Yet struggles continued. Racial divides, land disputes, and nature's wrath. But that's a 20th century tale. How a poor state became a tech and cultural hub. Part 3, Arizona, from desert to a golden era. Today's Phoenix skyscrapers whisper of centuries of struggle. Modern Arizona is a laboratory of the future. But how? 1. Surviving the century's greatest storms, depression and war. In the 1929 Great Depression, Arizona's copper economy collapsed. Miners lost jobs. Families lived in salt river shanties. But Yuma farmers dug canals from the Colorado River, growing heat-resistant crops. By 1934, Arizona led a stunned Los Angeles. World War II brought air bases like Luke Field. Women became welders, reshaping societal roles. 2. Desert miracles. Technology's triumph. 1950s air conditioning tamed 50 degrees Celsius heat. Phoenix's population doubled. Motorola's 1967 microchip plant defied skeptics. By the 1980s, Intel and University of Arizona Space Research put Arizona on the tech map. In 1993, Tucson pioneered solar streetlights. Crazy then, visionary now. 3. Arizona today, where past meets future. Arizona blends old and new. Tech workers bike past Tombstone's OK Corral. Hopi dances coexist with Scottsdale's modern art. Yet challenges remain. Droughts from climate change drain Lake Mead. Solar farms turn sunlight into green gold. The Navajo, once displaced for uranium, now lead renewable projects. An elder Tohono O'odham once told me, "We've lived with the desert for millennia. Now, the world must relearn this." Arizona teaches us, no challenge is too great with heart and wisdom. From ancient canals to silicon chips, its triumphs stem from relentless ambition. If you love this journey, share it. Click like, subscribe, and tell us. Have you been to Arizona? What moved you most? Thank you for joining me. Though half a world apart, Arizona's spirit, resilient, creative, and inclusive, will forever inspire. Until next time.